Here, now we have to represent sentences using the predicate clause. Okay. So there are 8 statements. This example is given in your textbook also, and few practice examples. I will post this assignment, okay, for you to practice. Solution is already there with you, but don't cheat. Otherwise, you will not be cheating me. You are just cheating yourself. So I have provided the solution and assignment in AI A to Z folder. If you will find, there is, okay, and you need to submit this assignment to me. So just to have a grip of you on this predicate logic, that assignment is given, and just don't cheat, do it yourself. Okay. Otherwise, solution is with you. You can directly copy and paste. That's not a big deal for me. Okay. Just do it genuinely so that you don't lose your marks in exam. First sentence, Marcus was a man. Now, prepositions, I'm ignoring two things, Marcus and man. Man is a generalized term that goes, generalized term, this represents a class. So, Marcus becomes the object. So, man becomes the predicate and Marcus is passed as argument to this predicate. Second statement, Marcus was a Pompeian. Okay, ignore it, the preposition, then Pompeian and Marcus. Okay, this Pompeian is more, what we can say, a generalized term, so it goes as a class and Marcus as the object. Now, see, this sentence is where predicate logic actually is used. All Pompeians were Romans. Okay, so now we use universal quantifier over here. For all x, okay, I'm reading out the meaning of this representation in logic. For all x, if x is Pompeian, if this becomes true, x is Pompeian becomes true, then we can imply that x is Roman. So for all x, if x is Pompeian, then all Pompeians are Roman. So it is true for all x. So whether you place Marcus, you place Caesar, you place Plato, all Pompeians are Roman. So for all x column, this means that it is true for all x. If x is Pompeian, then we can imply that x is Roman. So this portion needs to be true. Okay, if x Pompeian becomes true, then we can say that it is true for x Roman. Caesar was a ruler. Okay, ruler can be anything. Caesar, Marcus, Plato, Socrates, anyone. All Pompeians were either loyal to Caesar or hated. Okay. Both the cases here they have written. So for the same sentence, sometimes we consider it as inclusive or sometimes we consider as exclusive. Sometimes it is implicitly and sometimes it is explicitly. So both the conversions into the logic are true. So some people convert it in like inclusive or, and some convert it like exclusive or, depending on your understanding of English sentence. So all Pompeians were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So I'm reading out the first inclusive or. So for all x, if x is true for this Roman of x is true, then we can imply that x is loyal to Caesar, or if it is not true, then x hates Caesar. Okay, so all Pompeians were either loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar. So Pompeians would, you could have also written over here that Pompeian of x, because there is no Roman mention in the sentence. Okay, but we have made the in statement 3 it is already mentioned that all Pompeians were Roman. But even if you have written over here that for all x, companion of x imply loyal x comma Caesar or hate Caesar, that is also the true thing. Nobody is going to cut your marks for that. Okay. Exclusive or what is written over here, that for all x Roman of x, if this becomes true, then loyal to Caesar and not hated him. Okay. Because what we somebody would understood that if you are loyal to Caesar, you will not hate him, and if you are not loyal to Caesar, then you will hate him. So that thing is written in exclusive or. In inclusive or, it is a general statement that either you are loyal or you have hated him. But here it is explicitly mentioned that if X is loyal, X cannot hate Caesar. And if X is not loyal, that means X hates Caesar. That is conveyed through exclusive or. So both the conversions are loyal. Okay. Sixth statement is everyone is loyal to someone. So for everyone we have x, okay, all quantifier, all of x. There exists for someone, there is the quantifier, existential quantifier we call it as, there exists a y. So everyone is loyal to someone. So for all x, there exists a y where x is loyal to y. So everyone is loyal to someone. So for every, we have universal quantifier for all, and for someone we have existential quantifier there exists. So for all x, there exists a y where x is loyal to y. People only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. Okay. So for all x, for all y, if x is person and y is ruler, so X will try to assassinate Y. Okay. Eighth statement. Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. So we have a relation over here, that is assassination, tried assassination. Okay, try assassinate. You would have right tried assassination, whatever comes to your mind. So Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. Now there is one question. Was Marcus loyal to Caesar? Which statement support this answer or give us the answer that Marcus was not loyal to Caesar? You can give me the statement numbers and tell me that Marcus was not loyal to Caesar. Anybody would like to tell? Okay, we have, if you subset, see, statement number 7, okay, not loyal to, okay, here you you substitute Marcus and Caesar. Then you get person is Marcus, ruler is Caesar, and Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. Okay. Then here this portion becomes true. Try assassinate Marcus Caesar. According to the eighth statement, this is thing. So Marcus, we can directly imply that Marcus was not loyal to Caesar. Okay. And for person Marcus, we have one statement over here that Marcus was a man. Okay, we could have also write person and Marcus. So Marcus is a person, that also becomes true. So every side on the left hand side becomes true. So LHS is equals to RHS, that we could have concluded. Now there is one more way of representing this fact in the form of instance and easy relationships. Okay, so first, what we did that we converted the English sentences into the logic. Now, other thing could be asked to you that now represent that converted predicate logic sentences in the form of instance and easy relations. So what we are going to do, see, we know that instance represents class membership and is a represents class inclusion. So now you have to represent your particular logic into the class membership and class inclusion. So we have over here is the first statement, man Marcus. We know that man is a class and Marcus is instance of that class. So now here in the red one you can see that instance Marcus of man. Okay. Always the object name would come first and then there would be a class name. So Marcus is instance of class men. So this is how you represent class membership. Second thing is Pompeian and predicate is Pompeian and we have passed Marcus as argument. Now we can represent that Marcus is instance of class Pompeian. Okay. For all x, okay, if x is instance of class Pompeian, then we can say that x is instance of class Roman. Caesar is instance of class ruler. The same thing goes for the fifth statement, that if x is instance of class Roman, then x is loyal to Caesar or x hates Caesar. That is how they are converted. So always the class name, you would write instance relation. First name would be the object, first argument would be the object, and the second argument would be the class name. Okay, this is a very good way of converting unary predicates to the binary predicates. Every time we have a problem with unary predicates dealing with the non-binary predicates. But here there is a way to deal unary predicates and convert unary predicates to the binary predicates. Now there is second way that you need to represent class inclusion. Property inheritance you need to mention over here. So you can use is a relationship. So the third statement, all Pompeians are Roman. So Roman is parent class, Pompeian is child class. So you can represent the third statement like is a, Pompeian is Roman. That is a more convenient way. So instead of writing all x, Pompeian of x and Roman of x, you could write the third statement also as is a, Pompeian and Roman. Clear with this? Any doubt until this, students? We are about to complete the chapter now. This is the last.
Ma'am.
So now the thing is that we need to deal with the computable predicates. Okay? So for greater than, there is a predicate GT and there is a predicate LT. Here is a printing mistake. LT or for less than. Okay. You can name it any way. It is not necessary, as long as it is understood by the one who is evaluating. Okay. All the sentences you now know how to convert this first sentence, second sentence, third sentence, and fourth sentence. Okay. See here there is also a mistake in the fourth sentence. Universal quantifier is not mentioned. Okay. So I'll provide you the scan copy of the book because these pages are not there in the book, and somewhere from the internet I have found the same example. So I have taken this. So there is a mistake over here. There should be all men. So universal quantifier is missing in the fourth statement. Okay. The fifth statement is all Pompeians died when volcano erupted in 79 AD. So when you are dealing with some kind of computations with the age and this, you could have used the computable predicate. So you can have greater than, less than, which would represent the time. But here there is not any need. Okay. So what happened? It erupted volcano in 79 AD and all X, that means all Pompeians died when it happened. This sentence could be written in other way also. Okay. There is no necessity. Okay. First you can put place it like this, that all x, Pompeian of X is true, then they died in 79 AD, and this happened. So you could write the first portion afterwards and the second portion before. I would have written like that because I convert the sentence in the way I understand. So here it is a difference. So it is up to you how you convert it. Okay. Now there is the actual application of the computable predicates is given in this sentence. No mortal lives longer than 150 years. Okay. So the T1 here is represented for the birth time and T2 is for the death time. And here also in the sixth statement for all X should be there. So this is also missing a universal quantifier in first before the this X, okay. And here when you are seeing AT2, it is not A, actually it is a universal quantifier, but the writer has forget to like change it to 180 degree because for all it is totally inverted. So for all X, for T1 and T2, if X is mortal and X is born at time T1, and this all things are missing in this sentence what I'm speaking, okay, this conjunction is missing in this particular statement, and T2 minus T1 is greater than 150, okay, this GT represents greater than, so and T2 minus T1, T2 is the death time, okay, so T2 minus T1, if it is greater than 150, then the person is dead. Because we have said that no person lives longer than 150 years. So T1 represents the birth time, T2 represents the death time. And if T2 minus T1 is greater than 150, then we conclude that the person X died at time T. So it is now 1991 AD. Okay. So now is equals to, we have a variable now, its value is 1991. Marcus was born in 40 AD. So Marcus must have been dead. Okay. There are many statements. If somebody asks you that is Marcus alive, we can say that Marcus is dead. Why? First thing, statement number 3, if we substitute that value in statement number 6, Marcus is dead. If we substitute the value of X, okay, in the fifth statement, so first thing that will prove that is Marcus is a Pompeian. So all Pompeians died in 79 AD. So Marcus is clearly dead from the statement number 6 and 5. That is, we can do, okay. So statement number 5 and 6, if we substitute the value and previous facts are same, then we can say that Marcus is dead. You can write this thing for in the Prolog program. All this logic you store in Prolog program and post a query. It will give you that Marcus is now dead. Okay. So this is the conversion of the English sentences into the predicate clause. And for the next lecture, I have planned that I'll teach you the resolution theorem and minimax algorithm. Only 2 topics are left, and this that would be probably covered in the next Tuesday's lecture. So we don't need to worry about our syllabus, or even at the end of the week, I'll put an extra lecture and complete your syllabus. Okay. So for now, you understand that this is going to be asked. Assignment is already there in assignments folder, and solution is there in handouts folder. I will ask you to submit the assignment. So complete the assignment based on predicate logic as soon as you can. I could ask you before the Diwali also, and I could ask you within your Diwali vacation or after the Diwali vacation. So be ready with the assignment. Everyone has to write in the pages, okay? So no excuses for that. Let me take your attendance. Any questions for today's lecture? Any questions for today's lecture?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you people can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.